What were your thoughts when Hulk Hogan suffered the catastrophic effects from an earthquake? That's what we're going to be talking about in this episode. All right, I'm going to start off kicking it to my partner, Hulk Hogan, on the Brother Love show. Earthquake runs through him. What were your thoughts?
When that happened, it was my initial reaction was Hulk Hogan's dead. This when this happened, I was 3, almost 4 years old. Straight up Hulkamaniac, 100%. I'd never seen Hogan like suffer anything like that before. I was just inconsolable, crying my eyes out. This is one of my earliest memories of wrestling, but it's one of my kind of first memories of my dad. So I was just bawling my eyes out, and I just remember my dad being like, "It's all right, the Hulkster's gonna come back," and me just being inconsolable, like, "It's over. This is it. You don't come back from this." So this has always had like a special place in my heart. It's kind of like the start of my love of professional wrestling, and I always think it's cool because, of course, like my dad knew like all the this is fake. I didn't know at the time, but he knew like
Scripted.
yeah, scripted. Sorry, he knew Hogan would come back and obviously win or whatever. So then when that happened at SummerSlam, I was like, oh, my dad was right. Nothing holds the Hulkster down. So this is still something like this image. I still go back and watch this segment at least like 3 times a year. It's just happy memories for me. It takes me back to when like wrestling, everything was simple in life. I just loved wrestling. It was real.
No bills.
Yeah, no bills.
Every time I see the photo, I'm just I'm still I transfer back to the moment when I first saw it. I was like 5 or 6, and I had this Hulk Hogan tape, and it was like my comfort show is what we call it these days as adults. We're like, oh, I'm gonna put on The Office, so I'm gonna put on Sex in the City and forget about my problems. That's and then kids, they always watch the same fucking movie 100
Yeah.
times. When they're not paying attention, they're just playing with their toys. So I'm like playing with my toys. It's always on in the background, and I'm so used to like Hogan beating Macho Man's brother. What was it?
The Genius, yeah.
Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. And then one time, I can't even remember Hogan beating Earthquake on that tape, but I remember I'm playing with my toys and I see that happen, and it was like this moment I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like I stopped playing with my toys and I just was like, whoa, this is a new part. I don't remember this part in the tape. I was like, I don't like this part, and I remember being scared in a way too. It was like, oh shit, if Hulk Hogan can't beat this dude, I'm dead. Like he's
Yeah.
killing me. Like
Yeah. It was like Superman met Doomsday.
Yeah.
And you just watch Superman die and you're like, what's the world gonna come to? But I also want to shout out that when this happened, they made like a video package and it was like a music video. And I remember getting emotional with the end of the video. They show a locker with Hogan's bandana and shirt and cross hanging in it. And then they slam the locker door. And even then, like the tears came back and I was like, he's dead.
For me though, I have went and rewatched it, and I was surprised that it is kind of corny to me
Yeah.
now. But when I just look at the still image of it, I'm just still like, oh shit, how the fuck does Hogan beat that guy? Because
Yeah.
Earthquake's a big dude, and like it looks like Hogan's smashed. Like
Yeah.
he's not gonna get back up.
They did a really good job of making Earthquake this monster heel and making him believable. And then it's easily one of my top 5 favorite matches of all time when they had their match at SummerSlam. And it's like the catalyst is this image. So
And we've done an episode before where you chose the biggest WrestleMania blunder was Slaughter and Hogan, and you
Yeah.
said it should have been Hogan and Earthquake. And with this little vignette or talk show,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, it was like it should have been that.
yeah,
those two.
you could have ran with that for the next year, and you had that footage. So it's like going into Mania. I mean, just imagine playing that footage over and over.
And we're both describing the same feelings when we saw it. So you're
Yeah.
telling me like all the Hulkamaniacs weren't
Yeah.
experiencing those emotions.
Even now, that was 34 years ago. I'm 37 years old, and I still like if I watch that clip, I have to watch the SummerSlam match just to make sure Hogan came out okay.
I'm wondering. I'm interested if most Hogan fans, if that's their memory of Hogan as well.
Like coming back from that.
Yeah, like if if someone tells you, hey, what's your Hogan memory? I feel like it's either that Ultimate Warrior Challenge or NWO Hogan.
Yeah. Or for guys slightly older, the Andre.
Oh yeah, fuck. How did I forget that one?
Yeah.
I guess that shows my age right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, now that you mentioned it, I probably go to that memory first because that was pretty cool. But the earthquake one just hits in a storyline.
I feel like the
way.
Earthquake one is like the Hulkamaniac age group. Like I feel like guys that are a little bit older than me, like I'm 37, so like guys 40 some years old weren't Hulkamaniacs, if that makes sense. Like late 80s, early 90s Hogan, I think, is what launched like the Hulkamaniacs, if that makes any sense. That's what I feel like, but that might just be because that's my generation.
It's
That's my fandom.
kind of similar to John Cena. How like
Right.
if you were a teenager in your 20s, you were like bored with him, but
Yeah.
the Cena Nation was
Yeah.
in full force.
Yeah.
So seeing the photo, does it bring back memories for you? What memories does it bring back? What did you think when you saw Earthquake destroy Hulk Hogan on the Brother Love show, right? That's what it was
Yeah.
called back then?
The Brother Love show.
By the way, I don't get the hype with Bruce Pritchard.
That's a whole nother episode. You don't like Bruce Pritchard, you don't like Brother Love.
I didn't like Brother Love.
Okay, but all right. But also I'm curious to know in the comments like what started your love of professional wrestling? Like if you had to relate it to one image.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Because this is my image that reminds me of like this is why I love professional wrestling. So
Yeah. Let us know in the comments, and also make sure you drop that like button and subscribe to the page.